Hello, everyone. Please rise for the flag salute. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, in the event of root of egress, in the event of an emergency, all people may exit right or left from this room and proceed to an exit door. All doors will open from the inside. Open public meeting announcement. The New Jersey Open Public Meetings Law was enacted to ensure the right of the public to have advance notice of meetings of public bodies at which any business affecting their interests is discussed or acted upon. In accordance with the provisions of this act, the Haledon Board of Education has caused notice of this meeting to be published in the North Jersey Herald News, the board's official newspaper, on January 14th, 2022 and October 4th, 2022. For the location change. Notices of this meeting indicating date, time, and place were posted on the door of the main entrance to the school and filed with the clerk of the municipality of Haledon. Roll call, please.
Mr. Abbasi?
Here.
Mrs. Issa?
Here.
Mr. Jarquez?
Here.
Mr. Martinez?
Martinez was going to join us virtually. I don't know if he's here yet, so.
Mr. Matzo? Mr. Webb?
Here.
Mr. Zen? Mr. Zentanovic? And Mr. Woodhull.
Can I have a motion to accept correspondence?
Second. So moved.
Second.
Okay, so moved by Mr. Jekyll, seconded by Mr. Abbasi. Roll call, please.
Mr. Abbasi?
Yes.
Mr. Issa?
Yes.
Mr. Jarquez?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Zentanovic?
Yes.
Okay. I have a motion to approve the prior minutes. Motion to approve the prior minutes. Mr. Abbasi, can I have a second?
Second.
So, Mr. Abbasi moved and seconded by Mr. Zlotanovic. Roll call, please.
Mr. Abbasi?
Abstain.
Issa?
Yes.
Jarquez?
Candidate to action.
Webb?
Abstain.
Mr. Zentanovic?
Abstain. We
have to revisit.
Okay.
I think the video is on.
Video is
I wanna
online.
just watch the video.
Open the floor to citizens on agenda items only.
So move.
Second.
Moved by Mr. Abbasi, seconded by Mr. Jarquez. Roll call, please.
Mr. Abbasi?
Yes.
Mr. Issa? Mrs. Issa?
Yes.
Mr. Jarquez?
Yes.
Webb?
Yes.
Mr. Zentanovic?
Yes.
Okay, the floor is open to anyone in the public who would like to address the board on items. Are there any?
Agendas.
Anybody online, Mr. Miller? Oh, yeah, yes, Mrs. Fisher. Hello, welcome.
Former board member here at Haledon. I'd like to congratulate and wish best wishes to Mr. Silver on his retirement. Mr. Silver came here many years ago when I was a board member. He was an asset to the district, and everyone who had met him and students alike love it. So I'd like to wish the best to Mr. Silver and congratulations.
Thanks so much, Mrs. Fisher, and ditto for Mrs. Smith. Anybody else? Okay, a motion to close.
So move. Second.
Moved by Mr. Bassi, seconded by Mr. Jacquez. Roll call, please.
Mr. Avasi?
Yes.
Mrs. Zissa?
Yes.
Mr. Jaquez?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
Mrs. Antoni.
Yes.
Okay, let's see, moving on to committee reports. Okay, so I will start, I just have a brief report. So on behalf of, President Guzman and the rest of the Hailton Board of Education, I also want to congratulate Mr. Silver on his retirement and his many years of dedicated service to our school and our students. Anytime that I ever ran into Mr. Silver in the hallway or at the school, he was always so friendly and welcoming, and you could really tell how much he loved his job, and especially how much he loved his students. And I always walked away from those very brief encounters with a little spring in my step. So I imagine that that's how his students felt. So I just wish him the best, and on the board we thank him. Secondly, I just want to thank the teachers, administration, staff, students, and families for helping to get our school year underway. So far, we've had an assembly with a motivational speaker, PBSIS prizes, the first PTA meeting and fundraiser is underway, assessment testing, and most importantly, lots of learning. So we're still building back from the pandemic and its effect that it's had on our school, but we're definitely moving in the right direction with more in-person events, extracurricular activities, and just a sense of normalcy within the classroom. So the school is really hitting its stride in the second month of school, and I think it's it's a wonderful thing to see. So I thank everybody who's who's helped that happen. And that's it for my report. So I'm going to pass it over to Chief School Administrator, Mr. Waka.
Thank you, Board Vice President Isa. It is nice to see old friends here at the board meeting. I was happy to see when I walked in, Ms. Fisher and Ms. Smith. And I agree with the Mr. Silver comments. In fact, I don't like getting emails from Mr. Silver because we're both cursed by being Mets fans and Jets fans. So whenever I get an email, it's usually to remind me that we lost and for us to wallow in. I want to start my report by giving an important update on our expansion project. Drawings for the project have begun from our architecture firm, DeCara Rubino. We've always had a strong partnership with them, and I'm pleased we're using them for this project. Once the plans are drawn, I'm going to be happy to show the board what the plans are, and then they'll be presented to the state for state approval. I have no doubts that a firm of their integrity wouldn't be able to make a plan that would get quickly approved. And once we get those approval, then we put that project out to bid, and we take those next steps. There's a snowball's chance we could begin construction at some point this summer, which would be ideal. But just with the mandatory timelines, plus getting the materials that would be needed for this kind of project, it's probably likely to start at some point next year. But the outcome eventually of adding 6 or 7 new classrooms or offices or storage areas, that's such a big win, and it's because we've got the green light to use a pretty big chunk of our ESSER funding for this project. We don't anticipate any local tax levy increase, so it's almost like a referendum without a referendum form. So we're excited about that. The second thing I want to talk about is that I'll be reaching out to parents tomorrow to inform them that there's a new harassment and intimidation and bullying process that we will utilize based on a mandate from the state. In the past, the state had allowed each district to have autonomy to determine how they wanted to use the forms for the HIV process. This year, they asked us all to use something called Standard 338 form, and I think it is a good idea to have one standard form across the state. As of tomorrow, parents will be able to report any suspected HIV infraction by going on our website, and they'll fill out the form, and that form will be emailed to Mr. Quelly, myself, and there are 2 HIV specialists. If I determine that there's enough, reason to pursue an investigation, then we move forward with the HIV investigation. And if I determine that there's really not enough there to justify an HIV investigation, now there's also another form that I'll have to fill out and send in. But, we're going to make sure we're compliant with these forms. Item 3, our boys and our girls soccer has begun. Last year, our student athletes had a lot of truncated seasons because we weren't really sure about, busing and traveling and COVID. So it's good to see that, we got a full slate of interscholastic sports plans. I want to thank Ms. Pepin, our AD, and everyone else that helped with this. We have our book fair that's being held this week. This is a wonderful fundraiser for the PTA. Now that we're fully open, we expect to be going on trips, full grade levels, throughout the year. So it's really critical that we get this amazing partnership and support from the PTA. And events like the book fair are very important to that ideal. My 5th topic is, I'm opining here a little bit, but overall, I'm very excited by the way the school year has started, especially compared to what it was like at this time last year. I can feel it with the kids. The kids are calmer this year, and they're much more optimistic, especially our little guys. Our little guys had a lot of trouble because a lot of them last year have never had any daycare or preschool or kindergarten experience, and they were just kind of thrust into it. This year, I feel like they're a lot more prepared, and we're just seeing just a more positive student body from top to bottom, in my opinion, so that makes me very happy. Item 6, it is with sadness that I report that one of our employees, who was an aide and an aftercare worker and a mother of 2 Hailden public school children, had a fire at her home a few days ago. This obviously is scary, and thank goodness nobody was harmed. We did decide to keep the kids in school about half an hour via a shelter in place. I think Mr. Barnhill, Ms. Barnhill, Mr. Quayle, Ms. Trito, and our SRO did a great job facilitating that. I know some parents were a bit inconvenienced to have to wait an extra half an hour or so, and I get that, their schedules that it's helpful to keep. But this is something that we would do the same decision over again every single time, since we don't want kids anywhere near a fire until we're confident that the area is secure. So I want to thank the Hailden Police and the Hailden Fire and everyone else that helped out with that. And that's my report tonight. We're going to have one brief executive session for a personnel matter toward the end of this meeting.
Okay.
Thank you.
Our business administrator, Ms. Augustin.
Thank you, Madam President. I just have 2 announcements. One is to remind the board members of our workshops this month. It's on the 24th and 20 to 26th. You should have received your packet. If there's any questions regarding your accommodations or travel, just give us a call at the board office and we can help guys navigate that. The other is, I just wanted to bring your attention that we are going out for an HVAC project bid this month on October 19th. Vendors, and also on October 7th, vendors can come in, contractors, and do a walkthrough on the site to see what they will be bidding on. And what we're doing is adding 7-unit ventilator replacements on the first floor. And as a reminder, these were the funds that we applied for the grant, for the BPU grant. So this is covered through grant money, and this is a good project to kind of finish out all the HVAC needs. And that's all I had on my report. Everything else is agenda.
Personnel and management, Mr. Webb.
I would like to offer well wishes and congratulations to Mr. Silver on his retirement. Also, I see that we have a resignation of Victoria Mendoza with the dance. Wish her well with whatever she has moving forward. And agenda items only.
Technology, that's me. Agenda items only. Policy and public.
Agenda items only.
Security and safety, Mr. Zlotanovic.
Yeah, I want to also likewise congratulate Mr. Silver on his retirement. I wasn't here for last meeting. I know we have one item related to planning, so that's the only item on the agenda. I just want to note, the Passaic County School Boards Association did have a presentation on some recent security legislation. And one thing that really, one thing that's being proposed is that it would require school districts to share more of their building plans with the local police department. So I think right now it's a little bit more limited. In other words, there's going to be more information sharing. And there was also a presentation at that same meeting by how they incorporated security items into a recent bond. I have nothing further.
Thank you, and I appreciate the update on the county meeting. You know, if any of us ever attend any county meetings or NJSBA meetings, and please feel free to share because we can't always all attend all of those meetings. Okay, let's see, community and engagement, Mr. Webb.
Nothing to report.
Okay, and financial and fiscal plans, Mr. Latopic.
I spoke with Carlos. He was able to join us tonight. Did meet with Mr. Waka and business engineer. Went over the items. I don't want to, pretty much covered it for the most part. Agenda items.
Okay, state and county. So other than the upcoming annual workshop at the end of October, the next Passaic County meeting will be, it'll be a hybrid meeting. It's going to take place Monday, November 14th, from 6 to 8:30, and it'll be at Pompton Lakes High School if you want to attend in person, or you can attend virtually. And as the date approaches, we'll get more information about what the topics will be, and how to register. And that's it for that. Okay, so let's go to personnel and management.
Please move agenda items 7.1 down to 7.16.
Second?
Second.
Okay, so moved by Mr. Webb, seconded by Mr. Latopic. Roll call, please.
Mr. Abasi?
Can I just ask a quick question here? Well, again, congratulations to Mr. Silver on the retirement. It is in the middle of the year. Is there a plan in place to backfill that?
Yeah, so once this board meeting ends and you guys this board officially approves that, that retirement, the next morning we're going to put the ad in the paper. I agree that especially with mathematics in the middle school level, it's a little bit harder for a mid-year hire, especially now. I think it's fair to say that it's even like a minor miracle that we're fully staffed right now. We've had to be so much more aggressive, and we've had to think outside the box so much more because we always want to keep one or two steps ahead of everyone else because we're all competing for staff. I think what helps us probably more than anything is that when I meet with someone, I could offer them a contract. I like them. I could offer them a contract right on the spot, right? Where in a lot of other districts, you have to go from the principal and wait, a day or two to get an appointment with the superintendent, and they negotiate. We're able to. That's helped us a lot. But I think overall, the way things are with the certification process and the teacher shortage, I'm not convinced that it's sustainable across the state. And I know, some districts are looking to solve the problem by just throwing money at the problem. That creates a real imbalance between District A and District B and District C, and that has its own set of problems that it brings with it. But we're going to continue to be super aggressive and go to as many job fairs, and I do mock interviews at all the local colleges in the evening sometimes. So, we're going to keep staying a step or two ahead for as long as we can, and hopefully by then, the powers that be make it easier for smart people to get certification to teach kids.
Yes, across the board.
Mr. Jarquez?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
And Mr. Zunkowski?
Yes.
Curriculum and technology, I move items 8.1 through 8.5.
Second.
Okay, so moved by myself and seconded by Mr. Webb. Roll call, please.
Mr. Abasi?
Yes.
Mrs. Issa?
Yes.
Mr. Jarquez?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
And Mr. Zunkowski?
Yes, except I abstain from 8.2.
We'll be busy.
Okay, so security and safety, Mr. Stefan.
I move agenda 10.1.
Second.
Mr. Rossi?
Yes.
Mrs. Issa?
Yes.
Perez?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
And Mrs. Zartani?
Yes.
And then finance and physical plan.
I move agenda items 12.1 through 12.2.
Second.
Rossi?
Yes.
Mrs. Issa?
I did have a question about 12.21, the teachers pay teachers instructional package. It's a pretty hefty cost, so I was just wondering if you could tell us a little bit, if somebody could tell us a little bit about it.
Sure, I'll tell you what I know now, and I'll give you more information or the email. My understanding is that where teachers their lessons were successful or projects that they or curriculum, not curriculum, but units and things that will help supplement the instruction in the classroom. This was something that we tried it the first year, and our teachers loved it, and they kept wanting it. I guess it's a valuable resource, but let me do my homework and give you guys a full report on that because it is a $12,000 item, so I want to make sure I get them accurate.
Okay, so should we?
I know that we actively use it quite a bit in our school, so my recommendation would be to vote on it. However, as board president, if you choose to want to wait, one more board meeting on that's reasonable.
I mean, if you're already.
The service terms are for
Okay.
this specific.
You have something? What?
Yeah, I was just gonna ask, as he was saying, what we have doesn't expire until the 18th, so we can wait on that. But also, I was gonna ask, do you know if, I've used the site before, and I know that as individuals, we have to pay for each lesson to each teacher. Would this eliminate that, like our
My
license?
understanding is yes. My
Okay.
understanding is this prevents the teacher from having to go reach out of pocket to get the materials or the things that they need. But like as Mr. Abbasi noted, if it expires on the 18th, our next board meeting is November 7th, then I think it's perfectly reasonable then I'll have a full report on it for the next board meeting.
Okay, let's do that then. Let's table it.
That works.
Okay, so then, so I vote yes on all the other items.
Okay, Mr. Zartani?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
And Mr. Zartani?
Yes.
Is there any new or old business?
The only new business I'd like to bring up is that I know we still have time. Our 5-year plan doesn't expire until January, so we're still within the scope. But Ms. Keller will be joining us at the next meeting to help organize that last stage of our 5-year strategic plan. So that'll be a big meeting, and I think we've got a lot of progress done at it.
Do you have just like a draft outline?
I'll send you what we've accomplished so far from like the I guess the clip notes from the meetings that we've had, where we've kind of narrowed down the overall topics that we think are fair game to expand upon. And at that next meeting, we'll look to go from that long list of maybe 10 possible topics and bring it down to about 3 to 5 parts for our plan. And some parts will kind of mention other parts, but I'll send that to the board as well.
Are we still going to be looking to have feedback from, different groups like the community, parents and teachers at this stage?
So this is something where it'll be done at the board meeting with public, so anyone can comment, and if we want to even add, I'm sure George would agree that after we kind of make our list, we could have the public, have an opportunity to comment on it at that point. But this is just based on notes I've made from the PTA meetings and parents I've talked to, and the HEA we meet every week. So we kind of know that one goal is going to be the academic improvement. There's no doubt about that. Another goal is we have a huge construction project coming on. Like, how can we not make that successful completion? and the relocation of the kids in that area while it's being built upon it as a goal. But there's probably 2 or 3 other goals as a community that this board is going to have to decide where do we want to make a priority for us. So I think it'll be an exciting conversation.
Yeah, we did have a couple of meetings with community feedback, so, on this specifically, so that's good. Okay. So that was, new business. Anything else? Any new or old? Okay, then, may I have a motion to open the floor to the public, for any comments?
So move.
Second.
By Mr. Abbasi, seconded by Mr. Webb, I think. Roll call, please.
Mr. Abbasi?
Yes.
Mrs. Issa?
Yes.
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
And Mrs. Issa?
Yes.
Board Vice President last started with the person, and then we went to the people remotely. If you want to do that again, I thought it worked out.
Yeah, absolutely. And we'll start with the people, that are here, who are here. And,
Look, they raised their hand on the Zoom.
if you're at home and you want to speak, just raise your hand and you'll be called on. Just a reminder, that please, when you speak, state your name and address. It's a 3-minute limit. And, I just want to reiterate for everyone what President Clifton said at the last meeting. We want all of our, comments respectful, and, we want this to follow in an orderly fashion. So please wait to be called on. Okay, so we're going to start with folks here, and I'm going to call on Chief Baker.
Tom Baker, 151 Church Street, Belden. I'm just here to address, I know Rocca mentioned the fire we had on Monday, got right down the street. But myself, as fire chief, I feel that was the best decision, safest, not only for our students, but for all the first responders. I have a lot of things going on, and that one less all those extra student children and parents walking through that area, trying to get through. We got our police department to crowd control, help get the kids out of here, out of that. When I worked as somebody's, I still had to deal with parents coming into the school, crosswalks, trying to get through. Added, across at one time, trying to get the fire truck. That's a big safety issue, not only for the students, but for the fire truck. Play company, my clients know where the school is another time. May not know there's a school when they're coming up. I mean, extra trouble and unfortunately, possibly a tragedy. We've all seen it happen in the past, other places, thankfully not here. But, and also as a parent, who schools to go here, I appreciate all the concern and safety for all our students. I just thank the administration for that help. It surely helped us deal with the fire without the extra work. All I want to say. Thank you.
And I think we can all agree that safety is the most important thing. So for our students, for our staff, for everybody, and for the firefighters, and thank you for that. Okay, anybody else that's here?
The problem I'm here about is not in the agenda. Maybe it is, I didn't see it, I'm having a problem with my glasses. Sorry?
Your name and address.
My name is Adnan Badrov, I live at 325 Belden Avenue. My son is a third grade student, and recently they had to go to music class. So we had a problem with it because it's a religious thing, it's a belief, whatever, that's what religion tells us. We have a problem with the teacher. Not with the teacher. We're trying to, I sent a letter to the board of the teachers here. Nobody ever called me back to let me know what happened. We want our kids not to attend that class. The problem is, they tell us, if you don't like that, come and pick them up at the beginning of the class, and come back later on and drop them off to finish the day. We have jobs, we cannot do that. So I don't know what to do in this situation. I wrote a letter to the school, nobody answered me, we've been trying to get, basically we were told, it's your problem, deal with it. I don't know what to do. I cannot pick up my kids every, music class and bring them back again. Some people can't do that at all. I mean, I'm lucky, but it's like the last period, so somehow it's fine, but I cannot do it all the time.
I received your letter. The letter that I received, it didn't, with my recollection, it didn't specify that you expected to return a phone call, but now that I know, I can call you tomorrow. We can talk about it.
Okay, so how do we do that? Did you give me my phone number? You want my phone number?
I have your names on the letter.
Yes.
Your son's last name.
Yes.
And it will be determined. If you want to actually give me your number in case.
That's fine.
Okay.
All right.
So let's go to, virtually. Is there anybody?
David Torres, yes.
Okay, keep going, Torres. Go ahead.
Hello? You can hear me? All right. So I'm also here about the situation with the music teacher, because the same way as the gentleman that just spoke, we need a better solution. We can't be just kicked to the side like, oh, whatever you guys feel doesn't matter because this is what it is, and that's not right for all of us. Now all of us have to agree with it, and we need a solution. You told us last month, oh, just take your child out. Okay, I've been doing it for a month. How long am I going to have to do this for? The whole school year? The whole next school year? I don't get why there's not a solution yet. It's been a month. Like, we the parents that are not for this should matter, just like the ones that are for it. Obviously, the ones that are for it, they matter. But if we feel like we don't matter in the situation.
We are going to hear all the comments, and then you can address at the end. Is there another speaker, John?
Yes, Amy, I guess.
Amy? Go ahead, Amy.
Hi, can you hear me? Good evening. My name is Amy Beltran, 36 Barber Street. I have a quick question. I did email Mr. Walker about this, about the possibility of teachers wearing uniforms like that. We avoid this whole situation. And I thought of it because my son got dress coded. Again, my son he doesn't have this teacher, but I know people that do have smaller kids, and they were wondering, well, maybe, if we suggest that teachers wear uniforms, we could avoid this. So, I decided to bring it up because my son did get dress coded for wearing sweats, and it made me think, well, my son's being dress coded, but there's a man in a dress. It kind of doesn't make sense. So Mr. Walker did say that that's not a possibility, but to bring it up in the meeting like that, he could explain why that wouldn't be a possibility. That's it. Thank you.
I don't have problems. I believe our staff is not as professional, but it's quite handy because gender equal staff. We do a lot of work to be able to replace the staff. We've got really great teachers that do love your kids, and I need to make this environment, as attractive for these people to want to work in. And that's one reason it's not going to work. But I don't we address that. That's my answer.
Thank you, Mr. Waka. Thank you, Amy. Is there another?
Yeah, Roxana.
Okay, Roxana, go ahead.
Hello.
We hear you.
Roxana Serna, 440 Southside Ave. First and foremost, nobody can hear you on Zoom. None of you. I've messaged at least 4 of you, and neither one of you have fixed it. So all this that you have said in the past, 40 minutes, nobody has heard. I didn't even hear what Waka said right now. Secondly, we had a problem with this music teacher. Your answer is to take our kid out of school and then bring them back, this, that, and the other, back and forth. That's not going to work. That is not going to work. You guys have an entire year, from what I understand, to come up with a policy for this new sex talk for next year. What's the option for then when people opt out of that? Since you decided to hire this person who is also giving me a warning about my children flunking music, as if I care, number one. Number two, the fact that we had this whole discussion last month and nobody did anything about it in 30 days is ridiculous to me. But he is aware of what's going on. He is aware of what's going on. Why did I get an email saying that my daughter's absence is going to affect her grade? Why is that? Did you not discuss with him? I know he was there. And especially since I heard that he was also saying that he didn't care what the parents think. He didn't care about what his agenda is to push whatever he's got going on. That doesn't work for some people. People have religion, people have their own faith, people have their own belief, and they shouldn't be, a teacher that is with them for 6 to 7 hours a day shouldn't pose that on to a child. Now, if everybody's okay with this happening with an older children, they have more of a brain, their maturity is there, blah, blah, blah. Great, put them up there. Kindergarten is not for him. And Waka's and Barnhill, we've sent out messages and we get, oh, pick up your kid. That is not, I repeat, not a solution. You're the board, come up with a solution.
Ms. Stern, I do want to publicly say thank you to you, though. I did get the message to the employee whose house at the fire that your services as a laundromat would be something you'd offer to them. I thought that was very kind of you, so I want to publicly thank you for that.
I want to repeat what was said at the last meeting. If an employee does not break any laws, go against any policy, is doing her job, and is having success, that person is not going to be removed. That's not going to happen. So I don't know if you would like to weigh in. Waka, would you like to say something?
No, I would just like to repeat that we have to meet faith. And that's, no one gets the opportunity to pick race or gender, or religion, or any other. Yeah. We do have an executive session. That's something totally different.
Okay. Well, as far as, picking up your students or not picking them up, that's something that board can discuss with you. Again, I just wanted to, everybody else, I'm going to move that we go into executive session. Oh, okay, close, I'm sorry.
Angelica Stash would like to speak.
Okay.
Oh, okay, somebody else wants to speak?
Okay.
Go ahead.
Hi, good evening. I just want to ask a question.
Say your name and address.
Sorry, Angelica Stash, 42 Lipton Lane, Hilden, apartment C. So, like Mr. Walker said to take our kids from music class, I took my kids, both of them. But now, last week, my son told me that he comes to his class, not in the music class, in different period. I contacted the teacher and I asked her. She told me that he covers her lunch and he's giving a non-instructional period, like he reading story, things like that. So what about this class? Do I gonna take him out, like the music?
Well, to be fair, it's also the kind of thing where we might have a morning where it's icy out, and some of our staff members that live up county may not be able to get here in time. I always want to make sure that we have adults monitoring students. So it's not uncommon that sometimes we take a teacher if they have hall duty or
Sure.
like the bathroom duty or lunch duty and put them to watch children. And part of our duties sometimes the teachers typically have, it could be reading duty, it could be the deer period duty, it could be playground duty. But our staff members see children in multiple, arenas within a typical school day. That's not uncommon at all. And I wouldn't put your children in any position that I wouldn't want my children, or I feel comfortable putting my own children in.
I do understand that, but now he's gonna be in his class every Friday and Monday. I'm gonna take him twice a week.
My personal recommendation is that kids stay in school. I think that's
Mine
the best thing
too.
for them, but I can't stop a parent from coming in and grabbing their children. So that's my answer to that, Ms. Dash.
Thank you, Ms. Stash. Anybody else? Okay, can I have a motion to close the floor? Moved by Mr. Webb, seconded by Mr. Zlatonovic. Roll call, please.
Mr. Abbasi?
Yes.
Mrs. Issa?
Yes.
Mr. Jaquez?
Yes.
Mr. Webb?
Yes.
And Mr. Zantanovic.
It's a good question.
Mhm.
Is some of this going to be discussed in executive session?
This will not be discussed in executive session.
Yes.
All right, motion passed.
That's everybody?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we are going to go, I know I have to make a motion to go into executive session. I'm just letting the public know we're going to go into executive session. We should be 15,
This
20
is going to be a quick one. This is more than me just letting you know something that it's not really going to warrant. It's not the type of thing that would warrant that much discussion, but it's something I just want to. It's an employee matter that I want you to be all aware of.
Okay, so let's say 15 minutes.
Yeah, at the high end, yeah, I would say.
Okay. So we should be back in 15 minutes. So can I have a motion?
Action or no action?
I'm sorry?
There's
Action.
I don't believe there's action,
Oh,
right?
no, I'm asking, is there gonna be action?
Well, this is the thing we talked about today, so there's no action to be taken right now.
Okay.
Okay, so can I have a motion to go into executive session? No, will be about 15 minutes, no action will be taken.
Motion.
Motion by, moved by Mr. Zlatonovic, seconded by Mr. Webb. Roll call, please.
Mr. Abbasi?
Yes.
Mrs. Issa?
Yes.
Mr. Jaquez? Mr. Webb?
Yes.
And Mr. Zantanovic.
Okay, we will go into executive session now.